Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, before I get into the actual episode and our LiveCom later, if you've been enjoying this series, feel free to drop a big old like on it because I'm just really liking the fact, and it's good to see some feedback, and it's just, I've really been enjoying doing this one. It's actually been quite good, although it has been infuriating over the past couple of episodes for me, and today has got some similar themes to it, and also, right, injuries. I want to talk about injuries now because it is getting stupid. At one point this month, we had 13 players from our first team out injured, and you will see which game that is pretty quickly. In fact, I believe it was the first game or the second one. I can't remember. We lost so many players, it was unreal, and a lot of them have got long-term injuries. A few of them don't, but it still kept them out because we had some close. It's very, very annoying, and hopefully it's something that will get fixed soon. So we're going to start off with our first game of the month, which, yeah, you read that right. 6-0 against Accrington Stanley. Now, they were 4th in the league when we played them, and you'll look at the stats and think, how the hell did you get a 6-0 win? Look at this. Which just goes to show the complete randomness. 15 shots, 7 on target. 16 shots, 6 on target. More possession for them as well. Yeah, how did we win that 6-0? I do not understand. So Naylor put us in front early on, and then Miles Story was able to capitalise on some errors. Then Ryan Taylor, who was starting up front for us because we have no strikers available, basically, apart from Miles Story, who is playing out on the wing because we have no wingers available because Jed Wallace is out injured. Simon Davis, I believe, came as a late substitution in this game. No, he was out injured too. Well, look at the bench. You can tell that we've got a lot of injuries because you look at the bench. This guy, I didn't even know who he was, but we had to put him in the team. This is Fahad. You've got a name that I'm going to struggle with. Let's go with Rakawamwe. Rakaramwe. Maybe. I don't know. I apologise if that is a name that is coming easy for you to say. Right. Yeah, so then Attenjana made it. We were 4-0 up at half time in this game, and people were knackered because they've been playing so much, so we actually ended up bringing off the likes of Attenjana and Holmes, and we brought on Connor Chaplin again for, I think this is his league debut, not sure though, and Andy Barcham, of course, who was just recovering from an injury, would you believe. Connor Chaplin scored twice, putting a sort of sheen of, a veneer of respectability on a result that just, I don't know where it came from. Again, massive ridiculousness. These stats have nothing to do with the scoreline, it just seems to be completely random. As we then found out in our next game, we travelled to Cheltenham. And, yeah. This time, I'm pretty sure we dominated the game. Well, yeah, way more possession, way more chances. We had 4 clear-cut chances to their 1. And, naturally, yeah. Partington put us in front, but then Angelino was able to equalise for him through a goalkeeping error. Ooh, that's unusual. Then I think Partington's own goal was, yeah, it was directly after that, in fact. So they actually went 2-1 up. We managed to equalise through Attenjana, but then they went back in front through Raffaele, DeVita, which was a good goal, I've got to say. And then Westcar was able to rescue a point for us in a game that, once again, we were better than them. Look at the amount of times that they only had the ball in our half in that area, 7% of the time. We would, again, nothing to do with this. Moving along to our next game of the month. And our last game of the month until now, we had a home game against AFC Wimbledon. I said that I was happy. I said I'd be happy with a draw at Cheltenham, to be fair, but we played well and we probably should have done better. It's been a better month. It's not, we're unbeaten so far, and we managed to beat Wimbledon. But frankly, again, could have gone either way because they went ahead through Jasper Johns, or I don't know how to say his name, and we then levelled through Miles Story. They then went back in front through Sean Reid despite having very little of the ball, and then a quick little spell through Miles Story and Ricky Holmes was able to put us back in front, and we then just had to kind of wait it out. I think the main thing that stopped us from losing this game or drawing was because they had a lot of injuries in the latter stages of the game, and it meant that it just broke things up for us, and thankfully we were able to escape with the win. Now, what this does to the league going into the Luton Town game means that we are 9 points clear of Mansfield, and 10 points clear now of that area, so it's actually looking a bit more comfortable for us. Miles Story is now on the top goal scorers as well, which is good to see. Unfortunately, Paul Robinson is only on a 6-month loan deal and is going to be going back to Millwall, so that's a bit annoying. We have managed to extend Leo Chambers' loan. Of course, we did that right before he tore a hamstring and is out for 4 months because FM15. That should be a hashtag. Hashtag because FM15. But today we have Luton, and I will just quickly go through the stats for this month as well before we get into the game. Danny Hollins is now the outright most appearances for us this year. Miles Story is flying away with the goals now. 15 in 20 starts, which is really, really decent. Attenjana and Bartram have 9 each, and Wallace has 8. As for assists, well, that's Wallace too, but of course he's missed a couple of games through injury, as has Andy Bartram, and pretty much everyone in the team now. Nothing's really changed in terms of that. Attenjana is still the top man for the job. Parsington, I think he's gone down slightly, which is a shame. Yellow cards, it's still 5 on 5. We haven't had any reds this month, and average rating is Andy Bartram now, although Paul Robinson is running in very, very tight along with Attenjana. We've got a lot of players above 7, which is good to see. The only ones that Michael Polk has conceded a lot of goals when he's played, and Craig Westcart's not got a great rating either, despite scoring 4 goals in 5 starts. I don't understand how he's done that. Did he score all of them in one game or something? Who knows? Anyway, we're going to get to the match preview now. I've already set up the tactic that I intend to use against them. We may just tweak that, having seen their starting lineup. Have we set out to drop deep? No. I'm thinking we're going to drop deep because they are playing 4-4-2 and we are away from home, and I don't want to be caught out with the 2 strikers. I happily play 4-5, happily push higher up against 4-5-1, but when there's 2 of them, you've got to be careful. So that is what we're going to do. That is the line. Oh, actually, wait, is that the lineup? Oh, Wallace is back. That's good to see, but only just, I think. He's played in, yeah, he's not exactly great conditioning, as you can see. The problem with that is that Wimbledon game was on Friday evening, the Wimbledon game was, and now we're playing on Sunday. What is that crap? But I guess it's just the December stuff, isn't it, really? But really, Friday evening, then Sunday lunchtime? No. Alex Bass is still in goal. Obviously, we lost our goalkeeper as well. Jones also got injured. So we've got a few players on the bench. Ben Chorley is finally back. I'm sure he'll be complaining at me for that. But as you can see, we only have the 4 injuries now. But it is to people that we kind of want to have in the team. But just one of those things. Anyway, let's try and get into the game before things get a little bit too hectic now. And hopefully we can put in a decent performance against Luton. Where are they? They're struggling in the league, aren't they? As far as I can remember. Yeah, they are really struggling. Although they are still 4 points clear of the relegation zone. I already have my opposition instructions set. I don't do it by player, I do it by position. Just it's easier that way. Let's just do this standard team talk stuff just to get some green around. Get some people feeling happy about things, how we're going, and let's get into the game. Hopefully, we can not mess this up massively. That is my only hope. It's a terrible picture at Kenilworth Road as well. Hollands picks up in the midfield, but this is obviously not going to be a proper highlight. This is just that sort of token highlight you get at the start of the game. I apologise, it's a little bit jumpy, a bit choppy, the footage today, which is a little bit of a shame. But again, this is why I don't like doing live comms all the time. Oh, hang on, no, right, it seems to have settled down. I think we might actually get a highlight out of this. Holmes with the ball down the side and ball into the box, and it's cleared. Danny Hollins brings it back out to East. East is going to lose that out to Lafayette, and Doyle should be able to clear for Luton Town, bringing it up to Tom Eaves now. And, oh, that's a good tackle. Ricky Holmes now picking up with the ball on the left. He's filling in for Andy Bartram. Ball over from Hollins into Attenjana. Attenjana takes it around the goalkeeper and he scores in the first minute of the game. Well, couldn't have asked for a better chance. Couldn't have asked for a better start to a game than that. Luton Town 0, Pompey 1. Play up Pompey. 1-0, and it's Nigel Attenjana's ball. Hollands' ball is great here because it think it's going to go to the other guy. Attenjana is composed, takes it around the goalkeeper, and is able to put Pompey 1-0 up. And that's great, and hopefully it will be putting the icing on the cake on a pretty decent month for us. That'd be 10 points from 4 games. I'd take that. We'll start to see us getting back to where we belong, which is comfortably at the top. And John's taken a knock, but we should be okay. We've not exactly ripping up any trees in this game, but poor Luton don't seem to be offering anything. Look at the possession. They can't get the ball off of us. I suppose it will probably even itself out a little bit as the half goes on, but we've not really done a lot in terms of chances. But they've done nothing in terms of... There you go, they've had a shot. This is looking like one of those bore games. Absolutely terrible to watch, I'd imagine, if you were actually at the ground. They're getting a bit more possession now, but I think that's just as the half is wearing on. We're still dominating possession. We better not concede a chance to them here, because we've been doing so well in this game. Oh, what was that? Oh, well done, Naylor. Good stuff. Oh, it's a long ball over the top. Miles Story is onto this. No, not quite. Hope that isn't the highlight. Again, oh, good lord. What in the... Oh, Jesus. That's what I mean. That is a prime example of what is wrong with goalkeepers in this game. I mean, not just for me, but for the opposing team. What is he doing there? We're 2-0 up, and I'm really happy about that. But look, McGee gets the ball, just drops it out in front of him and allows Miles Story to take it and then falls over, and Story rolls that into an empty net for 2-0 Pompey just before half-time. If we get in at half-time at 2-0, I'll be very, very pleased with our performance. We've not exactly been that great, in all honesty. Oh, great. Watch them thump it for 40 yards now since Poke's out of goal. Right, we pick it up here from Danny Hollands. Hollands into Partington. Partington into Anjana. It's Jed Wallace now. Ball across for Miles Story. Oh, it's 3-0 to Portsmouth, or is he offside? It is offside. It looked a bit offside. But tell you what, we're creating some decent chances against a pretty poor Luton side with a goalkeeper who might need some help. Like, by perhaps being sold to a pub team. That might help him. Or it'll certainly help them. Let's just do what we need to do. No one's particularly pleased with what's going on, but look at how knackered everyone is. That's the problem. Hopefully, if we can get this game killed off by, say, I might tell them to push forward, to be honest. Get this game killed off, and then we can maybe make some changes. I'm going to tell them to push forward, because if we can get a third goal, I can tell them to take a breather, probably, or just chill a bit, because we do need to conserve some energy, because we do actually have some other games coming up in January that are very important as well to keep this run going. So if we could get the goal that wraps this game up, that would be sweet. So we can bring on some backups. Schmeltz here with the ball in the midfield for Luton. Wharton now, and there's a huge gap over on the right hand side, and Doyle is into that gap and smashes it straight into the net. That looked like a very tight angle. That better be a good goal. And Luton, from nowhere, are back in the game. Right at the start of the second half, right when we didn't want to give them any hope, and my God, the weather is shocking. Doyle here, ball driven across, and that's a good finish, but the goalkeeper didn't really make much attempt to save that again. They don't seem to dive to the side, they just seem to dive backwards. Hopefully that isn't the sign of things to come, but Luton probably are going to offer something as in this game, I'd have thought. But I don't want to push too high up still, because we are still winning the game, so I can't be faulting the team for that. I don't want to push too high, because they do have two strikers, and we could get caught out if we drop too high up. If we push too far out the pitch. They do seem to get more of the ball though. Here we go. Story gets it now. And there's a few players available here. Tom Naylor out to the wing to East. And Ricky Holmes is now in there. Can Miles Story get himself on the end of a good cross maybe? Holmes' ball in. Miles Story. Oh, that looks like an own goal actually. Nope, Miles Story was able to get on the end of it, and that's his 17th goal of the season. He's become prolific again. Holmes down the wing here. We've done a lot of good stuff from the crosses. Holmes gets across here, ball in, and Story with a big powerful header, making it 3-1 to Portsmouth. It's certainly not game over, and I've seen us concede plenty of goals this season, so I know for a fact that this is not game over yet. But we do need to try and, now that we're in a situation like this, we have to make a couple of changes in order to... Firstly, yeah, let's get on Watmer for Robinson, because he's looking a bit knackered. Ricky Holmes is looking absolutely shattered, and Craig Westcott, I believe, can play in that role. I don't normally like doing triple substitutions, but sometimes you just need to, and James Dunn can come on for Danny Hollands, because we just need some players like that. Right, so we're going to try and shut them down now, if we can. Is that not confirmed? Right, okay. When that does that, and then we're going to try and get them to keep it tight. Tighten up or whatever. And go with that, and then when that clears, we're going to go into the instructions and just make a little change, I think. I can't drop any deeper because we don't want to invite too much pressure onto us, especially not with the amount of game that's left. Let's just have a look. What can we do here? Let's take off work into the box, and let's go run at defence maybe. Just try and commit them to some stuff, and maybe tighter marking a little bit. But maybe even be a bit more disciplined. I don't know. Oh, we've pushed high up against... Whoa, what am I doing? That's surprising. Let's just drop a little deeper against... That's very odd. I thought I changed that. I should have had a set to drop deeper against Luton with their two strikers. Hopefully this will allow us to come on to the rest of this game and should just be able to get away with a 3-1 win here, even if we do concede one late on, provided we concede it very late on. I don't think we deserve to concede. Oh, here we go. Wallace's ball in. Maybe we can get a fourth. That would wrap things up nicely. Attenjana, no. Well saved by McGee in the end. Probably the first decent thing he's done in the entire game. A long ball down the field, and Schmeltz nearly got onto that, but Alex Winter is well across here for Pompey. It looks like it's going to be a win for Portsmouth, which is a decent win, and another good win in a LiveCom, which is what I like to see. The Pompey LiveCom seem to be going a lot better than the St. Pauli LiveComs. James Dunn here, Westcar, Attenjana, was around the side for Jed Wallace. Wallace's ball, oh, that was very nearly in the top corner, I can just tell. I've seen a lot of people online doing very, very well with Jed Wallace, and I'm a little bit jealous because he's playing very, very well for us, but they're getting some ridiculous results. After Miles Story's through on goal and he's nearly made it 4-1 to Pompey. I think the fact that we were pushed too high up is actually what was causing us the problems in this game. If we'd have started to be a little bit deeper, we'd have been fine. And that looks like it's going to be it. Luton Town 1, Portsmouth 3, I think is going to be the final score here at Kenilworth Road, and I'll take that any day of the week. There we go. Another win for Pompey. Hopefully, other teams around us have dropped some points as well. Great performance from Miles Story, and deserving Man of the Match award for him. Now then, what else happened? We are now... Yes, other results have gone our way. Burton have climbed, and Mansfield, Southend, I think must have both dropped. But yeah, Mansfield dropped points at Bury, and Southend must have dropped points somewhere as well. Oh yeah, a 4-all draw. Yeah. At home to Dagenham and Redbridge, who I don't think are doing all that well. Yeah. So that now puts us 10 points clear of the nearest team and 12 points clear of dropping out of the promotion spot. So I think we're actually starting to dominate again. We just had that little wobble where nothing was really going all that well for us. But even through that, we are doing just fine. Now, take a look at the league properly. Yeah, I think we're going to be just fine. And Miles Story might be a potential candidate for top goal scorer this year. Rakesh Bigham actually did score the goal that Mansfield scored when they beat us at Fratton Park. He's a good player, but I think it's because he's so damn pacey. I think we're probably going to be able to get promoted this year, which is good because that's what we needed to do. And yeah, so that is about that. Let's take a look at the schedule for January, because January is usually a massively busy month, but it may not be quite as busy because we are out of the cup. We have Tranmere at home, Newport County away, Burton and Southend United at home, and then Wickham away. So 3 home games that month. I'd like to think we could beat Tranmere at home. Burton at home is going to be a massive game. And Southend, we've got 2 massive games against Burton and Southend. And the away games against Newport are also pretty decent side this season too. And Wickham, right, so Wickham and Tranmere, we've got a decent amount of points on the board, I think, and would allow us to make a couple of slip-ups. But I think if we can beat Burton and Southend in our home games against them, that will pretty much wrap up our chances of getting promotion, because we could be flying then. Hopefully we won't get too many injuries in the interim, but only time will tell if that is going to be the case. And that is probably going to be about that for this episode. So, if you've liked what you've seen, please feel free to hit that big old like button. And if you liked it even more than that, there's a lovely big red throbbing, that sounds really weird, subscribe button around here somewhere. I'm sure you can find it, no problem. And I will probably, hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.